How you doing, everybody? Welcome to my channel. This is U2CANB, and this is the Real Housewives of Dubai season 1 episode 4 review, Desert Detente or Detente, whatever. I will review Basketball Wives tonight's episode. I don't know if I'll be able to review last time's episode because I just didn't have too much time. I was working. I'm also, like I said, going to be reviewing Couples Retreat, but episodes 1 through 6 until the new one starts, just so I can catch up. But I'm kind of getting back into the groove of things now that baby's a little bit older. So go ahead and check out my Real Housewives Atlanta review from last night. I just did. It will give you life. You will enjoy it. And also look forward for the next videos that I'm going to post back to back to back. Just go ahead and binge, child. Get you some popcorn and enjoy. So Caroline S., I'm going to start calling her White Caroline compared to the Black Caroline. She is, I think she has an inferiority complex when she comes around the other girls who are just as successful. I remember the first episode when Caroline S. was on the show. And she said that when she came to Dubai, she was the only white person there, around there. So kind of give her some kind of like the popular girl type thing, like she was the forbidden fruit or something that the guys would want type. That's the image I got, right? So it seems like when she gets around other successful people or other people who are just as gorgeous, not white, but also can steal the attention just about as much as she feels like she should be able to, because she's not a hideous looking woman or an unattractive woman. So I think that she gets a little bit inferior when she has other loud personalities like Ayans and Lessas that are also, or Lisa's that's also there. So I think that she doesn't know how to handle herself in those types of environment when it's not about her. Because she sure did know how to handle herself and be the life of the party at the hen party. She was the star of the show. So everybody paid attention to her. So she knew exactly how she wanted to behave and handle herself because people were paying attention to her, making a big deal about her. When it comes to other people, she doesn't have that same behavioral pattern. She just wants, she kind of shies away and tries to find other ways to bring them down. But here we are. She's at the construction site with Sergio, her soon-to-be. And they're talking, and he's mentioning the fact that he wants a baby, and he wants especially a baby girl. And I'm looking at him like, first of all, Sergio, you're the one who decides the sex of the baby, whether it's going to be male or female. And even if it ends up being female, a male, what's the problem? You're asking a 45-year-old woman to bear a child. At this point, you're considered high risk at 35. She's 10 years high risk, and you're not considering that. And I get that he's younger, but you're going to have to teach him. You chose to date the baby from the cradle. So you're gonna have to go ahead and let him understand that you're close to the grave. And he's old, he's basically close to the age of your daughter, who already made it very clear that she only wants you to have a child. So Caroline, I think, is feeling the stress of Sergio putting that on her, that we have to have a child. And not only that, I don't want a surrogate to carry the baby. You have to be the one to carry the baby. He still doesn't understand that she could freeze her eggs if they have the financial means to do so, and put the eggs with his sperm into a surrogate and have that person carry the baby. But you also have to make sure that you're choosing a surrogate who's going to make sure that they don't put drugs in their system while they carry your child. So there's a lot to iron out, and I think that his immaturity is showing, because I don't think he's grasping that. You chose to date the lady that, slobs you down and doesn't let you walk around with desert all the time. But you have to understand that she's still 45. Even though she tries to starve herself by eating salads and not gain weight, her internals are 45 years old, even if her outside is plastic surgery rejuvenated. You understand what I'm saying? So it's different. Then she says in her confessional that she knows that if she don't have a baby, he's gonna leave her. I said, well, might as well let him leave now if that's the case. Then we get to Black Caroline. Black Caroline is visiting her potential salon location, and she has now gone over a budget because she intended to spend no more than $2 million, and it looks like she will be spending over $2 million in that space. They asked her, production asked her, well, what if it fails? She said, we don't fail. I left my husband a year, and within a year in Dubai, I was a real estate agent, so real estate had become a self-made millionaire within a year. Girl, we don't fail in this life. And I said, bow, get it? I wonder if production asked Caroline S. about her ability to succeed in whatever business that she's doing, whatever hotel management or hotel business she's trying to get into. Because I know that Bravo has been accused of trying to make the Black people explain their, the way they make their money or their ability to succeed. I don't know if it's intentional, but I do know that that's something that they pointed out with Monique when Monique was on the show before she went up to Love and Marriage DC. But I don't know if it's a pattern in other shows. I'm just saying this is something that I kind of was like, okay, why would you ask her that? But she handled herself well. Then we get to Nina, and Nina is meeting up with her husband Munaj at their location because he's always working. And she said that they're usually known for having dates once a week, but because he's so busy, they're having dates twice a month. She went there because she's going to discuss with them about the birthday party that's coming up for his business partner Bijan. And Bijan is basically so glued to Minaj that they feel like he's basically his second wife. And so they're going to plan this birthday party for him, and the birthday party will be no less than 6 figures. I said, is he not going to have any more birthdays for you to be spending 6 figures on one? How much you going to spend next year, the year after that? I mean, it's good to be rich, but it's not good to just be blowing money. I'm so sorry. If you got to spend it, flaunt it, whatever, but dang. 6 figures on one day? Child, you're better than me. Even if I was a billionaire, hell will freeze over if I'm spending 6 figures on a birthday. Maybe it's just a different cultural thing, and that's okay. If you got the money, spend it. But that amount and that figure that you just hit me like a ton of bricks, I was like, oh, can I get some? It won't last just one day. I'll spread it. Now we have them discussing a vehicle that they're going to purchase for her. And they're saying that in Dubai, there's something where the license plate basically lets people know the class of where you stand financially. The less digits on the license plate number, the more expensive it is, i.e. the more money you have to spend. And they show one, and they said one that had 2 digits. The man spent $33 million for that one license plate. I said, pause. See, this is what I'm talking about. People just have money to just throw away. You know how many people $33 million can feed? And you want to spend that on a license plate just so you can let people know that you got the money to do so? This is what I'm talking about by people who have money don't make smart decisions sometimes. Yeah, you have all the money for your business. You can make money from your businesses, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you were spending it wisely. This is dumb, because if I had $33 million or even more than that to spend, even if I was rich, I'll probably still be walking around with holes in my pants. I don't want to be robbed. I don't want to be targeted. I don't want people hopping over fences like they did with Candy in Real Housewives of Atlanta. I want you to not know how much I make. My family, however, people I have to provide for. Certain organizations I'm going to be affiliated with may know how much I spend, but I don't need to be flaunting it like that. I do know that they do have family members who are millionaires who do flaunt their wealth. I know that I have an aunt in UK, and their license also shows wealth because her license is private. I was in a cab getting from one place I was at to get to her house, and the cab driver pulled up at their house, the big old house they had, looked at the Mercedes in front and talked about and was like, oh, your aunt and uncle are wealthy. I said, how would you know that? He said, their license plate is private. I said, it's private? Now that's interesting. Can't nobody run your plates, okay, easily. Now that part makes sense, but $33 million just to have a 2-digit license plate? Bye. Then we have Lessa with her children, Max and Sebi, working in her home office. And she's basically waiting for her husband to come home because all the kids are kind of like running all over the place. The boys are running around, and also because because he's the CFO of the company, she wants him to sign up on the budget they're going to use for the next production of the Mina Rose, non-maternal line. Now she's talking to the boys, and the boys are basically making it seem like Mina Rose doesn't have as much significance financially as her husband's work. So I'm looking at the situation like, is this a power thing? Your sons are already looking at the hard work that the mother is making and minimizing it. Production asked her, how much has Mina Rose brought in? She said, she called somebody on the phone and they said Mina Rose grossed over 8 figures. And that's a lot of money, but the kids are not consciously aware of how much money mom brings in, but they're aware about how much money dad brings in. So they're looking at mommy's job as less than and daddy's job as the one that matters. Now, this type of classism exists in Nigeria a lot. I know my uncle said hell will freeze over before my wife makes more money than me. But I don't mean that what she does is insignificant. 8 figures is a lot of freaking money for somebody who got the business up and running on their own. That is something to be commended. That's something that the boys should value, not look at it like, oh my gosh, my dad makes the money, the Mina Rose doesn't do anything. Like, it was just, I was in shock that was even the ideologies the boys were already adopting. Then her husband comes in, and as she's talking to him about the business, you can already see the dynamic of the lack of significance that the children put on her position and what she does for her work is the same as the husband is doing. Now, I guarantee you the husband, when he's in his company having meetings that he feels are important, he's not on his phone. He will ignore some messages because what he's doing is significant to him. But his wife is talking to him about his CFO job that he has for a business that makes 8 figures, and this fool keeps answering his phone. And then it gets to the point where she said, well, you know what, I might just make an executive decision and approve this budget myself. And this fool says nothing can process until I sign it and I stamp it. I'm just like, that's condescending. And it took her throwing a meaning like tantrum, making a face for him to say, well, I trust you, go ahead and do it. I'm the one who makes sure the budget works right. I said, well, I don't know what management that you do, but she seems to be the one doing all the lead work. And so far she's made close to 8 figures or more. So essentially she's doing what she's supposed to be doing. I don't know if that's his way of feeling like he's above her or he's more powerful than her. I just don't like that dynamic. They seem like a good family and they seem like they got something going, but that particular scene rubbed me the wrong way. Then we have Ayan and her husband Chris deciding to take a walk, romantic walk. They're cute. I like this image of Ayan and Chris. You know, even though, you know, she left with somebody that colonizes who has the skin tone of certain colonizers in the past and probably want to build his own colony somewhere, it seems like they love each other, and that's a good thing. Because they're talking and Ayan lets us know that she was betrothed to her cousin Hussein. Because in her culture, that's known for you to be married to your own cousin. I don't know if they just want to keep the money in the family, but I'm not married to my cousin. I'm not marrying my cousin. There's potential health issues that could arise from that if we keep mixing the same blood. I'm not doing that. But Ayan said her cousin was fine, so she and I marrying him. So we already know that Ayan is okay marrying cousins. Now that was just part I just wanted to clarify. She's okay with marrying cousins. We don't know if it's first cousin, second cousin, but she's okay with marrying cousins, okay? So she got the money. I'm sorry, she met Chris, and she fell in love with Chris. And a week before her wedding, when all the dowries have been settled, all the cows have been purchased, all the golds have been traded, everybody in the neighborhood are planning this wedding, because you know African weddings are huge, okay? Doesn't matter if we broke, we still make the wedding big for everybody to come eat for free. So she now got up and ran away with Chris, and that embarrassed her whole family. And even though now that her family is okay with Chris because he paid $1,000 dowry for her, which is a lot of money in her currency at that time, because I know the currency difference between here and Nigeria is steep. $1,000 here in Nigeria could hit the millions, as is with the change right now, with the currency differences right now, because I think every $1 right now is worth 600 and something naira in Nigerian money, and that is extreme inflation. You could survive with $200 a month at this point, the way that it's rolling. So $200 translates to naira. You can survive and feed yourself, get some hotels, do what you need to do. But they got the money. Her mother now loves her husband Chris, and her mother also loves Taj. And of course, Chris learned very quickly. If you marry Ayan, you marry her whole family. So Chris's money is being stretched all the way down to Africa, child. Might as well contribute to what your ancestors destroyed. I'm just saying. Now we have Ayan to Chris asking Ayan why she did not kiss him on the first date. Ayan said her mom told her if you kiss somebody you get AIDS. I said, well, my dad told me if I give somebody a kiss I would get pregnant, and he scared me to death from getting pregnant. So I was sure not letting nobody kiss me, because I wasn't about to get pregnant and go home and get dead. We don't do that. So I was sure her mama told her she wouldn't lie. And her mom told her if she kissed somebody she'll get AIDS. Just like my father told me if I kiss somebody I'll get pregnant. I sure did believe it, child. I wasn't gonna test it. Then they end up getting an invite to Bajan's birthday party, and Ayan was very happy about that. Then we get to White Caroline meeting up with Sarah to dine together so they can discuss what's going on in their lives. And Caroline lets her know that Sergio wants a child and that she's already frozen her eggs. And that there was a time in Dubai, was it last year, where there was a rule that says if you're not married, you cannot combine an unmarried man's sperm with yours to have a child. There has to be a family unit, like as in you're married to the person other to produce a child. That was the rule. Now it's even easier now, because they can now mix the eggs with the sperm and move on with trying to get a child, and hopefully the eggs take and they'll make this baby. Then Lessa asked her, Sarah asked her, why did you not come to Lisa's event? And she said that she just wanted to stay away from toxic, i.e. I don't want to be around Ayan because I'm threatened by Ayan, because Ayan didn't do anything to me, but somehow I have beef with her because she always steals the shine whenever I'm in the room, and I want it to be all about me. So she says that she just wants to protect her own toxic and whatever. But I'm thinking to myself, Lessa, from what I remember, was at her hen event, wasn't she? She did support you at your event. Why would you not go and support her and swallow your own personal pride? I don't know. Stanberry is getting on my nerves. She's getting on my nerves. Then we get to Bajan's 6-figure or more birthday party, hosted by Nina, planned by Bajan and his wife. So they're there, they flew in some entertainment, everything was lavish, everything looks just over the top. It looked good, it looked fun, but I'm still counting the dollars they spent on this few hours of event. Then everybody starts showing up with their masks in hand and not in their on their face. Caroline decides to give Ayan a fake hello hug because we don't know she don't like Ayan, but she gonna hug her anyway, keep up the pizzazz, you know. Then Caroline goes to speak to Lessa about missing her fashion show, and instead of her saying the same thing she told what's her name, Sarah, about wanting to avoid toxic, she says, oh, it's because I had a lot of wedding planning all day, every day. That's what you're doing, planning wedding, girl, you lying. So Lessa clocks her on that, and she just says, well, I wanted to protect my peace because she kind of grouped Ayan and Lessa in the same bubble, and she feels like if Ayan is there, she doesn't want to be there because it's going to be toxic. So basically it's about you and your feelings. Lessa's feeling some type of way, and she's like, don't group me with Ayan. We're two different people. If she's wrong, I'm gonna tell her she's wrong. If you're wrong, I'm gonna tell you you're wrong. Meanwhile, as this conversation is going on, and you know, Stanberry is letting all her little mouth just flood away with all the stuff that she wants to say behind Ayan's back, Ayan is over there having a great conversation with Sergio. They're clicking better than I see her and Sergio click with Stanberry. He's all cheesing left and right with Ayan talking to him. So they're enjoying their conversation. Everything's going great. And then after Stanberry finished talking to Lessa, she's looking at Sergio again, feeling inferior and jealous, of course, because of course Sergio is enjoying his conversation with Ayan, and the craziness she probably told him that Ayan does to her is not what he's perceiving. So she goes, oh, he's with them. He's with that group. She starts throwing a tantrum. And Sergio's like, baby, what are you talking about? I'm just basically mingling. I'm just being kind. We're at a party. We're supposed to be enjoy. Which one me if beef with a female? I'm a dude. She goes, he's with them. He's with that group. Then she says one of the most disrespectful things I have ever heard. For Lessa and Ayan, she goes, and I quote, where is that? I hope she's going to suck your dick tonight. And she's referring to Lessa. And I said, first of all, we already know that you were sucking his dick. That's why you got him in the first place. Your slobbery head must have been good for you to catch him, number one. Number two, you don't need to announce that at somebody's party with a bunch of other people there. They're probably looking at you for behaving so crass and just so ghetto and so ratchet. This is ratchetness, okay? White Caroline was ratchet in her behavior. So she said that out loud, and I'm just like, I was so disgusted. Lessa is my spirit, because she went up on the confessional saying, girl, you wish I was sucking Sergio off and slobbering off, because girl, he would not be with you if I did it. Bam, I'm better than you with that. I'm great at it, and so am I. So if I even go down there and even just kiss it, girl, he would not be with you and your little 45-year-old booty. So they're talking. Now we see that Caroline is now rightfully making her way into Lessa's bad list, ish list. I'm trying not to cuss on YouTube. So as they're talking now, Caroline is now relaying to Ayan how basically Lessa is relating to Ayan how Caroline basically put them up together, grouped them together, and whatever. Lying Caroline comes around saying, I didn't say that. That's not what I said. It didn't happen. I'm thinking, did she drink alcohol yet at this point? Can we blame it on the liquor, or is it just how her reasoning is? You're sitting in front of Ayan, lying in front of Lessa's face as if we didn't just hear what you said. You didn't just sit up here and express that the reason you didn't come to Lessa's fashion party is essentially because you just didn't want to be around toxic, aka deal with Ayan. But now you're sitting up here saying that you don't have a problem, and you're making it seem like what Lessa is saying is like you're oblivious to it. You don't know what just happened. It's called reverse psychology, and it's called gaslighting. You're trying to make it seem like what Lessa is saying, you're not comprehending as if it didn't just occur just a few minutes before. Caroline, I see you. I see right through that blonde head of yours. You ain't that dumb. You know what you're doing, and you know what you're doing, but you're not as calculating as you think, because we see right through you. And Lessa is too smart. Her 8-figure business and your wannabe hotel business, she beat you, child. So I'm sitting up here listening to what Caroline is saying and talking about, oh, I just hope they wouldn't be this petty. You're being petty by not going to a fashion show because you can put your pettiness aside to support somebody who supported you. What does that say about you, girl? No wonder your intellect is able to now associate. Your 45-year-old intellect is able to now associate with the 28, 27-year-old intellect, because that's where you stand in maturity. So y'all fit together, girl. Mirror Sergio, okay? Then we have now Ayan looking at Caroline, acknowledging that she could buy her whole life if she wanted to. Boom, girl, tell her. At the same time, Ayan is now being the adult person, extending the olive branch to Caroline, saying, you know, I don't have a problem with you. You have a problem with me. I would like for us to build a relationship. I think that it's just a misunderstanding. I would like for us to get to know each other. But Ayan, Caroline has multiple faces, and she's known to stab people in the back. Tread lightly. I don't trust this heifer. As far as I can throw her. Her and her salad eating behind. Anyway, that was this episode. Let me know what you guys think, okay? Go ahead and check out Real Housewives of Atlanta. I reviewed it, and look forward to Basketball Wives coming next. Also, look at my description below. Go ahead and look into joining my OnlyFans You Too Can Eat page for all the recipes and all the stuff you can do for your family. Enjoy Nigerian, Italian, whatever food I put in there. I'm gonna try to do 2 meals a week. And if it doesn't work for OnlyFans because my channel is being reviewed right now, we're gonna go to Patreon, okay? Have a nice day.